I do have a new icon now. We've done
I
it.
miss the
I love
outside
it.
world.
Okay, everyone, before we get started recording the podcast
How's California
tonight.
going?
Oh, okay,
It's so
fine.
bad out here.
We'll just start. No, before we get started recording the podcast and get into those great, probably coronavirus-themed topics,
Yeah.
I have a monumentally important question to ask all of you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which one of you uses Bing?
What?
Oh boy.
Who amongst us is a Bing user?
I'm just gonna say one thing. It's not me, but also I feel like who would
That's
admit
exactly what
Like,
someone
who
who
would admit
uses
it?
Bing would say. One of you is a secret Binger, and I
No,
know that
you-
one of you is.
You all know me, and you know that I'm Google till I die.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell
I
you how
have a theory.
Well, all right, hit me with your theory.
What if Discord uses Bing?
No, it
Uh-oh.
doesn't. Let me tell you how I know.
Oh shit.
Actually, the same evidence about Discord not using Bing is rolled into the evidence of someone using Bing. So I'm here on our YouTube analytics page for Goblincast Live on the Air. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
why
our
I said the
channel.
full name. You have to be listening to
This
this
is
for me to
Goblincast
hear
Live
it.
on the Air.
This is Goblincast Live on the Air. Hello, I'm Edward, your
Ben.
investigator supreme.
Wait,
Pull up.
Mr. Cyber Sleuth over there.
My name is Evey, and I am with the defense today.
That means that it's her.
It's
Oh,
not
no.
me, I swear. We can't have the listeners thinking this about me.
We got
just
two
not
more
true.
intros to do.
My
Hi.
name's Chris, and I'm extremely confused about Bing in general
He's
and
the
why
defense.
it still exists. I am the
He's
defense.
the
Wait,
defendant.
does Bing still do that thing where it gives you like money for every search you do on it?
I
Because
believe
What?
it really wants people to use
I
it.
believe they have a points system,
Yeah.
and you can trade those points in for like gift cards and stuff.
Yeah.
What?
Something like every 100 searches. I knew
What
a
the
guy
fuck am I
who
not using Bing?
used Bing to like search 100 random things a day to get his $5 gift card, and then he would
Oh my
close the
God.
program.
And Jennica, would you like to introduce yourself to the podcast?
Oh yeah.
audience?
Hello, I'm Jennica. It's Corona time.
It's
Okay.
Corona
It's
time.
Corona time.
So now I'm
Sounds
on
like a
our
beer
I'm on our
advertisement.
YouTube channel's analytics page. Now take, if you will, in your mind, 100% of our channel's views.
wow, we have that many?
All right, now 20% of those views come from 20% of those views come from what YouTube deems external sources. Okay. Now
So that means
I can
somebody-
get a more specific breakdown of external sources. Would you like me to?
So external sources means that someone is finding it not from a YouTube page, correct?
Well, let me tell you. So the breakdown we got from
Hey,
the
Eddie,
channel
how do we get
page.
0.2 of a view?
Haha. So we've got the channel page. That means they went to the Goblincast page and then they clicked on
Oh,
a video
Ben, I
from there.
appreciate your avatar.
We've got viewers from browse features. So that means they searched in the YouTube search
Wink.
bar
Mm-hmm.
and found a video and clicked it. Then we've got from other YouTube features. That means that YouTube, recommended it to them in next to another video, and they clicked on it. We've got other, and then we've got external sources.
I wish that we could get a breakdown of other.
I will.
Yeah, I'm
well,
very
our
curious
views
about
from other
other.
is
Yeah, what does that
4%, so
mean?
we should probably find out what
Huh.
it is. But right now, I'm gonna do the external breakdown. So 20% of our external views come from Discord. Now that's likely from you guys clicking it when I share the link after episodes are done, or
Yeah.
from
Well, and all of
if
our
any
other
of y'all
friends,
share
too.
it in other servers, it's from there. 20%. But then, curiously, another 20% of the external views come from Bing.com.
20%?
That's I was
That's
gonna
a
say
lot.
that jokingly.
20.
That's a
percent.
fucking lot.
Which tells
That
me,
is a
which
lot of
tells me that
That's a
one of
fifth
you.
of our
Now,
video.
to be fair, it could be Mike.
Oh God!
But it tells me
I'll have to
because
leave
the
him.
only
Oh, shit.
in the what
My
it tells
parents are
me.
calling me. I'll be back.
Okay.
Goodbye. I have to accept.
Tell them we said hi.
Oh boy.
She probably will.
Well-
It tells me that one of you, whenever I say episode's done, one of you goes on your computer, goes into the search bar, types in Goblincast live on the air, and your
And the
search
default search is
engine
Bing.
is Bing. And then you click on it from there, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God!
Oh,
You
God.
know, wait, you know who it might be? And we may have to cut this out of the podcast if I
Is it
find
my
out that it's
dad?
true. No, I mean, I don't know what search engine your dad uses, but I've seen his laptop once and I think he uses Firefox, but I could be wrong.
He does.
Firefox is not a
Firefox's
search
default-
engine.
Well, what's the default search engine of Firefox? Because I'm sure he never changed
I
it.
think it's
Google.
Google.
It's
Okay.
Google. But okay, so it
Well,
could
the
be
default search engine
my
of
one
Safari
coworker.
is Bing.
Is
Or
it?
not Safari. Whoa, what the fuck? Of
Opera?
Edge.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, if you're using.
Yeah, so it's
Microsoft
anybody.
Edge,
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
I don't know why
have
I said Safari. I
older-
don't know what's wrong with me.
I have older coworkers
Mm-hmm.
that
And you've
I've-
told them about the cast?
that I've told about the podcast because they're cool.
are
Mhm.
20% of our views Evie's?
Well,
older
20% of
coworkers?
Well,
20%.
I wonder, how many of them.
Which is
so if they
5%?
Five.
Wait,
decide
4%?
to watch the
Four-
podcast, like,
Five.
a lot of them
Four.
are older,
Four,
so they
4%,
may not
right?
be
4%.
changing
Yeah.
their web browser.
4% of our views.
Well, then I guess that this is going to be
It's
the.
not necessarily one person, but if it is one person, it's one of us. Now,
Right.
Now I'm about to make an admission, okay? On my MacBook Pro, Bing is the default search engine.
What?
But
So it's you!
I've never searched for the podcast on there.
That sounds like someone who uses something that someone who uses Bing would say.
So now let me tell you why.
I'm back.
Let me tell you
Welcome to the
exactly
Welcome
why
Thank you.
Bing is the default search engine on my MacBook Pro.
You're sounding real fucking suspicious here,
No,
buddy.
because I admitted
trying to
to
take
it.
the
I've
blame?
never
So it's you.
I've never searched for the podcast on my computer. On any computer. I log into the account.
Yeah, me too.
Why would I search for it? I know where to find it.
I watch the podcast signed into the podcast's YouTube channel.
All right, but so the reason that Bing is the default search engine on my MacBook Pro is because I was getting real tired of Google shit, okay?
Oh,
Yeah,
you want to elaborate?
I will
I would love
elaborate.
for you to elaborate.
I will elaborate right ding dang now. So
Stop. Elaborate. I'll listen.
Oh no. You owe someone money.
So
That was-
Google
Who am I paying
I don't
my
even know who just
reparations
left
to?
because
I'm gonna write.
I'm not
the planet.
I'm not tabbed into
Okay.
Discord. I don't know
Had to
who
take
just
a
left
breath.
as a joke. Oh, it was
I'll,
Ben.
I'll write my reparations check in the morning. It's okay.
Thank you.
Had to take a breath.
Stop. Reparate and listen.
No,
Anyway.
now you have to do.
Put $1 in the shitty reference jar.
Okay. No. So let me talk to you about Google.
We should probably
So
actually have one of
Google
those.
does a thing that I really dislike. Okay. Where I'm gonna
They
stop
sell all your data.
umming so much. Well,
So does
I know
everybody.
that they sell all my data. Fuck. They
Just take a
use all my data. That's my problem. Is that they use my data.
They collect a lot of it, and they actually like
So when
use it
you
all.
as you search things on Google or use other apps and services and websites that Google, either purchases data from or they run their data through Google or they trade data, whatever. Anytime you use it at a place where Google collects your data, they keep it in a little folder somewhere
Should
and-
just keep hanging on my desk.
and then they use that to tailor things to you. They have an algorithm.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Yep.
So
I like-
when you search things on Google, okay, it gives you different results based on who it thinks you are.
yeah,
What
When I-
categories you fall into?
When I search something, okay, on a search platform, an internet browsing platform, I don't want the results that Google thinks I want. I want the results that search brings up. I typed in those things in that order on purpose. I'm not just willy-nilly searching stuff, okay? I'm searching something because I'm looking for something.
I like that if I Google King Arthur, I know what's gonna come up.
Well, see,
I absolutely hate it because I have been around the block with the internet, okay? I've been here for a while. Okay?
You know how to tailor your searches.
I know how to tailor my searches, and it worked super great until a couple of years ago when Google decided they had figured me out. They were like, we know who Ed Ryan is at this point. But here's the thing. Here's my big problem with it is Google has no fucking idea who I am.
Because, Google's got me pegged.
Because a lot of the stuff I use isn't Google services. So they don't have a lot of accurate information on me because the only stuff I really Google is stuff that I don't fucking know. Because if I know it, I go to the right place. So Google thinks that I'm some other person who has basically opposite knowledge of real me.
Yeah.
So they think that you are absolutely not interested in all the stuff that you know that you are interested in because it doesn't go through them.
Exactly, because when I know about stuff, I don't Google it.
To be fair,
and I don't have a Google phone. And my pardon me. I have like my Google account, my Gmail. I don't use it to like sign up for any services or apps or anything. I use it as an email, and I have a throwaway email that I use to sign up for stuff.
Me too, except that they're both Gmail.
So they think that you're a very serious businessman with no hobbies.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Went to school.
No, they think I'm interested in random ass stuff, right? Because sometimes I'll Google, like, I'll be like, what are the lyrics to the Fairly Odd Parents theme song? And then they take that information, and they're like, well, we only have 1,000 pieces of information on Edward Ryan, and we have so many more information on other people, so we're going to weight this piece really heavily because it's one that we have.
I think Google might be alarmed by how much information they have on me.
Yeah, so
like
am I.
The amount of reliance that I have on their services is like it's got to be the exact opposite problem that Eddy has. Like I'll Google just the phrase pumpkin pickle sell price and it'll bring up the Stardew Valley wiki. Like I don't even need to put anything else in there. And like that scares me. I don't, I appreciate it, but it's alarming for sure.
I have gotten to the point where it is more efficient for me to type historical figures into the Google search bar to get to their page on the Grand Order Wiki than it is to go to the Grand Order Wiki.
Yeah, like
right, so this is,
don't even look up Fate as often as you, but when I Googled Tiamat Avatar earlier, it only brought up the Fate character.
The anime stuff.
So
it's not always though. It could be.
So here's the thing, right? Is if I don't play Fate Grand Order, but if I did and I wanted to look up a character, I would go to the wiki first. And I know what a ton of people do, and I know that this is probably why Google's algorithm works for people that aren't me, is people don't type in websites anymore. They go up to if someone wants to go to Facebook, they don't type in facebook.com enter. They type in Facebook enter and then they click Facebook on Google's page.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I just click the little Facebook icon that shows up on my Google Chrome landing page.
All right, well there you go.
Who goes on Facebook anymore?
All right, fine, whatever. If people want to go to the Fate Grand Order wiki, they don't type in fatepedia.com.
And then
Fatepedia, that's a better name than what we've got.
I don't know what it is.
We have grandorder.wiki.
I would like to say
I go to websites when I want to go there, and I know that I'm in the minority. I know that most people go to that top bar, they type in most of the website's name and hit enter and then click it.
I feel like also I don't always want to go to a wiki. Like I like to Google, especially stuff with like if I'm looking for like a game guide. I don't always want to go to the wiki because a lot of wikis, because they're user generated, will have like incomplete or questionable info. But often, if I Google the thing I'm trying to figure out in the game, if the wiki doesn't give me the right info, the next result will be a Reddit thread that does.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that to be very convenient.
I generally use Google to skip the front page of a website.
Oh, because it has those little other links underneath, yeah.
Or I'll type in like the name of the website, followed by whatever on that website it is that I know I need. But I don't want to go through the 3 sub pages to get there, because Google will just give me that page heading.
Yeah, like if you were like Fate Wiki character from Fate.
Yeah, then it'll bring me to that exact
page, yeah.
Eddie, I do want to say, you probably...
Their search
so
bar,
my main problem with Google
properly.
is that I'm not in the ecosystem.
Right.
And I don't have interest in being in the ecosystem.
Yeah, and it doesn't really
I'd
work
like
for
to
people who
use
aren't.
the search engine, though.
Yeah,
but I
now
can't.
it's social media without any of the social bits.
Yeah, I can't use it. So I that's why I have Bing as my default on my MacBook Pro.
Use some of the like open source stuff, the stuff that gets you to the dark web.
No!
Onion?
What?
It's got layers.
Well, just because like those are unfiltered they're unfiltered
well,
searches.
so that's the other thing, right? Is that like it's
Oh, I was gonna do a really bad segue. It's better if we ignore it.
okay, cool.
Okay.
I'll tell you guys what it was later.
Here's the thing I
when
will
we're
say
ready.
though.
Sure.
The Bing thing could be by accident, looking at these
Maybe.
numbers, and it could be that Bing just isn't the greatest search engine, and it's giving people our video who aren't looking for it. Because while it is 20% of 20%, it is 4% of our total views. The average view duration from Bing is less than a minute.
Aww.
Oh.
Which makes me feel like people are finding it through Bing by accident.
And going, what the fuck?
So it when I look at the totality
on the really crowded thumbnail
of the evidence, it probably isn't one of you. But it was funnier to accuse.
I don't listen
it was
to our
funnier
fucking
to
pod.
accuse you all.
Yeah. All right, so I got to tell you guys about the bad segue that I was going to do.
Okay, great.
So
I
when
guess
I
we're ready.
said it's got layers,
I
was
talk about
also
Shrek.
no worse.
We can talk about Shrek though.
I was going to say, you know what else has layers? Human skin. And then I was going to tell Ben to talk about his appendicitis.
That doesn't have anything to do with skin.
You had a surgery.
Wait,
it goes
hey,
through
yeah?
the skin.
Speaking of
the layers.
medical things,
I told you it was bad.
Evie, remember on the podcast a number of weeks ago, you talked about how other, animal hospitals and vets and stuff that weren't the one you work at were like advertising dog coronavirus vaccines. And
Which
people
was dumb.
were getting them.
Yeah.
Did you see the research that came out? Apparently this strain of coronavirus, dogs can't get it.
Yeah, they may or may not be able to be carriers, but they can't get sick
They
from
can't
it.
get it, yeah.
Yeah, they are totally safe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yep.
So talking about
It's like,
other
look at that
medical-
cash grab.
It's great. Let's talk about coronavirus.
Well, talking about other
Let's talk
subjects.
about Corona, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's
My
talk
parents
about
just
all the
called me
bad
mom.
things and the bad things that may
It is-
be.
My parents just
It is
called me,
time.
which is why I hung up from you guys. They were updating me on the coronavirus.
Okay.
All of California is now under shelter in place. Not
Heyo.
just
Yeah,
the
California's
counties in the Bay
closed.
Area.
I'm going to put some air
California
horns right
is
there.
now closed for business.
California?
I've been in my house since Monday. I left twice, once to go to the grocery store on Monday and once today to get some stuff from my parents' house.
Very nice.
That's it. I will be here
How are you holding up?
until April 7th.
Oh god, that's how long it is? Or
Yep.
Is that when your store opens back up?
Nope. That is the end of the shelter-in-place order, unless they extend it. So
Lots of times for podcast, huh?
I guess so.
yeah, That's why I was like, we should record a shit ton.
Who can
I don't
I
know
ask
what
who
I would do
amongst us
if
is
I had to be
I
stuck
started
at home.
literally
who
saying-
amongst us is working right now? I assume Ben is.
No,
Yes.
I have been
Eddy.
fired.
Oh no,
The air
due to
horn's there.
the virus?
Yeah, I'll be rehired again when it's over.
Are you
But-
can you like file for unemployment or something?
I assume that's why
Yes.
they fired you instead.
Yeah,
of just
that's
saying-
why
Yeah.
companies
Well,
are doing layoffs.
I'm under 6 months. So everyone who's over 6 months is on quote unquote like either paid or unpaid sick leave or quote unquote vacation, right? They're like doing something with that. But because I'm under 6 months, I don't get any of that.
Hmm.
So they had to fire me because our store is closed. But they will immediately rehire me and the 2 other people who are under 6 months who are still working there who will.
But are you gonna
Who
be
are
able
also
to
fired.
file for like unemployment with the state or
Yes.
something? That's good.
Yes.
Because that's the situation
Yeah.
that is for.
Mhm.
Yep. It's great. And there's California has already put in place coronavirus special
Funds.
unemployment for coronavirus.
Yeah. I mean,
Specifically,
California should be its own country already because they've really got it together.
Listen,
They
They've also
do.
got the
I've been talking
landmass.
about this since I was like
Yeah.
16.
I'm so on board with California like seceding, and if they do, I'm moving. I'm gonna be a
Yeah.
West Coast baby.
Good-
I don't
good-
give a shit.
Good
Fun.
good
Come,
luck
come join us.
is
Like
what I
good
will say.
riddance.
Well, there was now off coronavirus, thank God. There was a talk about doing this back in 2015, I want to say 2014 or 2015.
I recall this.
It went on the vote. It went on our state ballot for, I guess it would have been presidential election. Yikes.
hmm
Or no, it would have been the primary for it. So it would have been 2015, 2016. I don't even know. Don't ask me years right now. Time is an illusion.
That is true.
I've been stuck in my house so long. I don't know what day it is.
It's Thursday.
Anyway, there was talk about doing that, and I was all for it. And there were lots of jokes about how if California left, the rest of the United States would crumble because we're like a third
Probably.
of the GDP.
Yeah.
Because we have so
like-
many like businesses and shit,
Mhm.
and we produce a lot of the food.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Let's do it. Fuck the
I-
rest of the U.S. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, man.
So,
Goodbye.
on the topic of secession,
Or we
There was a
could
time-
move off
there
of
was
that.
a time in freshman year of college
What if we just
The part
floated
of
Long
my body-
Island a little further away?
that part of my body attempted to secede. And that's how I'm going to talk about my appendicitis.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about it.
So, freshman year of college, second semester. Most of you were there for this. Sorry, Jennica.
Well, to be
don't
fair, the
apologize.
rest of us were playing D&D when
Th-
we
this
got
was
a
later.
call
So,
that
so-
you had to go to the hospital.
yes. So, it's like 2 a.m. Chris and
Were
Evey
we?
have just left my dorm.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. Chris and Evey have just left my dorm because we were watching anime for a long time, as we did just about every night. I forced them to. It's how we became friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't force anything, boo.
This created a yeah, it
sometimes
really
Chris-
wasn't forceful.
Sometimes Chris would pay me to drive his car to the parking lot.
This created a lifelong bond, and now I hope you regret this because you're stuck with this forever.
You just gestured to yourself in an audio medium, huh?
I did. I'm glad that you could hear it.
So, Chris and Evie had left. I was like, okay, time to go out of this lounge because we watched it on my floor for some reason. Out of this lounge, change into my pajamas, take off my glasses, go to bed. And I laid down in bed and said, I have to throw up. And I got out of bed.
Oh, that's the
Okay.
word.
And I walked out of my room to the bathroom directly across the hall, and I got in a stall and I vomited. And I said, that was unpleasant. Time to go to
Yeah.
bed. And then I went to bed and I said, I still have to throw up. And I got up again. And this continued
Uh-oh.
for about
Are we getting like a full
hours.
fucking play-by-play of your nausea?
And this continued for about 6 hours.
That's the
You
way.
dumb bitch.
And I said, something is definitely wrong
Nah.
at that point when the sun came up. And I said, I don't know the number for campus safety, and I don't know the number for the health center, and so I walked to the blue light box and I pushed the button. And I said, I am really sick and I need some help. Can you send somebody to drive me to the campus health office? And they said, sure, just stay where you are. And I said, that's not a problem. And then I stayed
the
exactly
easiest
there.
direction.
Yeah, and I stayed exactly there, right in front of my room.
That's the way.
Until, a campus security officer came in. And he said, hey, were you the one who called for help? And I said, yes, I was. Thank you. And I fortunately had my phone in my hand because I don't go anywhere without that. And he brought me outside and he put me in the back of his van like I was in trouble.
They gotta.
Well, it's like I didn't.
But you were.
They could have put him in the
How
front.
could you?
They didn't. They don't gotta. They could have put him.
No,
in the
they
front.
don't got it. They don't have like the readouts that cops
I feel
have. They're rent cops. I don't.
I feel disrespected on Ben's behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he drives me to the health office, and the whole time I'm just like, and he's just like, so how much did you drink? And I'm like, I wasn't drinking. Also, you're not supposed to ask that, but whatever. And like trying not to dry heave in the back of this fake cop car. And he gets me there and they bring me in.
You should have threw up all over it.
Yeah, and they bring me in and they ask me how much I had drank, and I said, I have not been drinking. I do not drink, because at that point it was true. And I'm like, I have severe abdominal pain. I'm throwing up a lot. I don't know what's going on. Please help me. And they said, well, we can't do any scans or tests right now. And I said, then why am I here? Why did you let me in? And they said, well, we can get you to the hospital. And I said, okay, that's fine, I guess. Can I bring a friend to do that? And they said, sure. Like it was a problem.
Oh.
Like it was an inconvenience for them that I was kind of terrified about going to the hospital alone. And they said, well, our driver will be here in 20 minutes, so try to have your friend show up before that. And I was like, it's 8 o'clock. What do you... And so I called Eddy. Because he was the first person. And I called Eddy and I said, hey, Eddy, I need to go to the hospital. Can you go with me? And Eddy said, no. We're playing TV right now, and I need to record for Ithaca TV later. And I said,
okay, it was because I had to record for Ithaca TV later. I had commitments, okay?
I said, oh, okay. Can you hand the phone to Jocelyn?
You're making him look so bad.
And he handed the phone to Jocelyn.
I'm also upset that I was the last choice.
You were the third
first
choice.
Of all.
So he hands the phone to Jocelyn, and I ask Jocelyn, who at this point I have a crush on, I say, hey, Jocelyn, I have to go to the hospital. Could you go with me? And she says, oh, I also have to record for Ithaca TV. I can't, sorry. And I go, okay, great. Can you hand the phone to Pete? Because that's what I called Evey at the time, and for the next 3 years. And so she hands the phone to Evey, and I say, hey, Pete, I'm going to the hospital. I'm terrified. Please don't make me go alone. And Evey responds, yeah, dude, of fucking course I'll go with you to the hospital. And then she showed up at the campus health center, and we got in this shitty sedan that their driver had, I guess. And he drives us to...
I do want to make it known at this time that I was terrified of hospitals and doctors.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember it going down exactly like this.
That is exactly how it went down.
And the whole time I'm pretending that I'm not scared because I want to like make Ben feel safe.
But so we get in this shitty like 1998 sedan that I guess is just the person who was on call for the health center to drive us to the hospital, and he drives us across town to the Tompkins County whatever it's called. And we get in, and he lets us out, and then he drives away.
Yep.
I'll have a story about them as well. I'll go next.
And he just leaves. We're not even in the door of the emergency room, and he just drives away. And I'm like, guess we're stuck here now. Okay. We go inside.
I was only a little worried.
Yeah, we go inside to the check-in desk of the emergency room, and I say, hey, I'm having severe abdominal pain, and I've been throwing up for about 6 to 8 hours. Please admit me. And they said, sure, we just need this information. I said, sure, okay. Because at that point, I'm smiling and I'm cordial because I'm terrified. Yeah. And they're like, we need your name, where you're living right now, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, and we need your insurance information. And I was like, huh, I didn't think I'd need that as a 19-year-old. Let me never think of text my parents. And so I texted my parents. I was like, I'm on your insurance, right? And they said, yes. And I said, please give me that information. I'm in the hospital. And so they send me back a picture of my health insurance card, and I show that to the person at the front desk, and she takes all the information and says, "You should be fine. We'll get you in right away." And they do. She does not put all my information in correctly. I was getting, like debt collection letters for 2 years, and also
never
fake
put your
calls from
info in
fake debt
correctly.
collectors for 2 years.
Yep,
Nice.
they never
Sold
put
my
your
information
info
for
in
whatever
right.
reason. And so we go in, they set me up on a bed. I'm still at this point in my clothes. They send in a doctor, they ask me what's wrong, I tell them. The doctor leaves. The surgeon comes in. He says, "I'm pretty sure you have appendicitis." I say, "Okay." And he takes the CT scan juice away from me, because they had given me CT scan juice. And it was the first thing that I had put in my body for about 16 hours.
Yeah.
So I was very sad when he took that away.
Yeah.
And at this point, I
That's
believe
saying
the nurse
something. That
had given
shit's
me morphine,
nasty.
because I was in just a lot of pain. And so he took it away, and I reached after it and went, "No."
I was like, can I have it? Because at this point, I hadn't fucking eaten anything either.
Yeah. So
I was like, can I have the juice, please?
So he comes in and he just pokes me in the stomach, and I go, "Ow." And he says, "Yeah, that's probably appendicitis." He says, "Did you notice you were sitting that way?" And I was like, "Sitting what way? With your leg up like that?" And then he moved my leg, and I said, "This hurts a lot more." And he said, "And that's why you were sitting that way. You have appendicitis." And I said, "Awesome.
Like, honestly,
Thanks."
this doctor was like the ultimate dude.
And he says, "Have you told your parents yet?" And I said, "No." I should probably
I didn't
do
know
that.
I had appendicitis.
And so I called my mom, or I had Evey call my mom. I don't know.
Yeah,
At this point, I was on morphine. I don't remember.
I had the first interaction I've ever had with Ben's parents, where he said, "I'm going to have Pete call you because there's no service in the hospital." And I, with my lady voice, went outside to speak to Ben's parents for the first time ever.
Fantastic.
I couldn't leave the room and was high.
Yeah.
I do. I'm now, as we're telling the story, I do kind of remember. And I am pretty sure it did go down the way Ben said in the beginning. Now that I'm thinking about it,
dude,
I had to jog my memory a little bit. I'm pretty sure it did go down that way.
If it weren't for the things that happened later, we probably would not have survived the friendship.
Ben, listen, I think this was first semester freshman year or something? Second semester freshman year. Okay, listen,
we known each other for a while.
We didn't know each other for that long yet.
Yeah, but it was a while. Anyway,
I was busy.
So Evey leaves the room. She goes out to the lobby. She calls my mom. She talks to my mom for a bit, and she comes back in, and the phone's still connected. She says she'd like to talk to you, and I say, "That makes sense." And I talk to my mom for a bit, and the first thing she says is, "Ben, what are Pete's pronouns?" And I said,
Which,
I'm not sure.
We stan your mom for sure.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not sure. And I put the phone down.
And then he realizes that it had been months and he'd never fucking asked.
I had never asked. And I looked at Evey and I said, hey, Pete, what are your pronouns? And Pete said, she or they are fine. And I pulled the phone back up and I said, she or they are fine. My mom said, thanks.
The best.
Did you just ask her?
The whole crux of the issue here is that Ben does not call people by their names.
Ever.
Yeah.
Just about ever. And so that whole conversation happened, and she asked, "Do you want us to come up there?" And I said, "No, you guys are going to Mexico. Why would I need you up here for a routine procedure?" And they said, "Okay. Can we talk to the surgeon?" And so I hand the phone to the surgeon, because he was in the room at that point. And I said, "My mom would like to talk to you." And he said, "Okay." And he spoke with her for a bit and said, "Yeah, you don't need to come up. You don't have to cancel any plans. He said that you guys are 4.5 hours away. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine." Yeah. So they get on a plane to Mexico.
Yeah.
And I don't hear from them for 2 weeks.
And luckily, Ben did not die on the operating
table. Yeah, fortunately,
table.
I did not die while they were in the air. Which does not paint a great picture of my parents, whom I love and whom care very much about me. But this
was just bad timing.
Yeah, this happened the morning they were heading to Mexico.
Yeah. This is just very bad timing.
So
it's like your appendix was kind of an ass.
A little bit. So they have me sign all the forms for surgery, and they get the bed ready to wheel, and they take me and Evey into an elevator. And they bring us up to a different floor with an operating room. And they get us out of the elevator, and it is the emptiest, creepiest, darkest hospital floor you have ever seen. I swear to God, there were 2 lights on in the entire ward.
And they were exit lights. Like, they take Ben away to perform a surgery on him, and they show me to a waiting room. They open the door for me, and they do not turn the lights on for me. So I sit in a dark waiting room for like an hour until someone else comes in and turns the lights on. My phone was dead. I had no entertainment with me, so I'm over here reading fucking Men's Health magazine, scared out of my mind because I have an anxiety disorder, and this boy that I love I'm like, he's gonna die, and I'm here reading Men's Health.
Well, did you find out how to, have a healthy prostate or something at least?
I did. I do know a lot about how to keep my prostate healthy now. Yearly exams are the key.
So they bring me to the prep room, and they say, take off all your clothes, and I say okay, and they close a curtain, and I, without getting out of the bed for some reason, take off all of my clothes. You didn't see that bit because it was behind a curtain. I did not leave the bed to change. I somehow managed to wiggle my way out of all of my clothes and put on this robe, and I was like, my butt's hanging out, that's normal.
I said, take off all your clothes,
and then I just waited.
You don't even know my name.
Yeah, and then I just waited for a bit because it didn't occur to Morphine Ben that I should tell the attendant that I was ready until I was like, I wonder when they're coming back. And I guess I said it out loud because she opened the curtain and said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. They're like, great.
Are you ever coming back?
And so they wheel me to the actual, operating room, and they put me on the operating table, and, I'm high. That's how all of this is colored. And I look at the surgeon and I say, man, you guys have some great taste in music. And then I wake up.
Nice.
But nobody knows I'm awake, because for what felt like to me 5 minutes, but was probably around 15 seconds, I didn't know how muscles worked.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember how to open my eyelids.
In this time frame, they had come to the waiting room to collect me. And they said, he's waking up. Do you want to come see him? And I was like, yes, get me away from this Men's Health magazine. And so I run into the room, and I look, and I'm like, he doesn't look awake because his eyes were closed.
I guess they knew better than I did. So I'm sitting there for what feels like 5 minutes, but it's probably around 15 seconds, until I do manage to open my eyes, and Evey says, oh, he's waking up. And I go, and this is the best part of the story, supposedly. I go, I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones. And Evey says, and I stop right there. And Evey says, Ben, I don't think now is the time for Imagine Dragons. And I somehow, in the anesthetic haze, I make eye contact with her. I look directly at her face. I don't have my glasses on. I barely knew what was around me, but I made eye contact with Evey, and I said, I remember that song. And then I did not say another word.
Well, no, you said ice.
I guess I said ice. I said
and
ice.
I had to feed Ben ice.
Evey had chips of ice that she was feeding me. And that was all I said until we got to the recovery room.
A fucking baby bird. It was hard. He would just
all
be
I remember is opening my mouth and going,
yeah, and I'd have to fucking plop an ice in there. It's horrible. Because
I had cotton mouth, and the ice was very pleasant.
And this whole time, I'm just thinking, this kid is so fucking lucky.
And so we get to the recovery room, and we're there for a bit. And I'm high off my ass because of painkillers and anesthetic, and, I haven't moved a muscle outside of pressing the TV button, because there's 2 on that remote that they give you in a hospital. And eventually, more friends than I think should fit in Chris's car show up in the room.
Yeah.
Because I, at some point, had asked Eddy if he could grab some stuff for me so that I didn't die in the hospital.
That's true.
Yeah. And so...
And I did.
8 people file into my hospital room, 2 of which are the people who would not accompany me the first time. And
You're
Eddy hands me
I'm there.
my glasses, which I did not have for this whole experience. And I am
Chris
blind
had
as a
picked
bat.
me up from the hospital the night before. I was not allowed to spend the night in the hospital,
This was
but
the
I
same
was
night?
100% prepared to.
I thought this was the same afternoon. No, this was the same afternoon. I got out the next day.
Well, because
No,
we had
you
to come
didn't.
back to get you the next morning.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
different
so
day.
this was
So-
at night when Chris
Yeah, this
also was picking
this
me
was that
up.
night. And so Eddy hands me my glasses, which I needed because I'm blind as a bat and didn't think to grab them before going to the hospital. My phone charger, which I asked him for so that I could contact people when I needed to leave, and a Riolu plushie that he grabbed off of my desk by himself so that I had something to hug. It was very nice.
Aw.
You're goddamn
Very-
That
right.
Riolu
very
stayed in the
Very
crease of
sweet.
my elbow for that entire 16-hour span that I was in the hospital.
And that's what a true friend would do.
Okay. I just think that I won.
But so this happens, and I am loopy as hell. And I'm talking with my friends, like everything's okay, just having a grand old time. And that's how I met Kara, Chris's fiance.
Aha.
And then, because they came partially to get Evey from the hospital room back to campus.
I do just want to say real quick, in case Carol listens to this, the first time I saw her, I thought, God, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
You're damn straight.
Okay. All right. We can continue now.
Good to hear.
I wanted to make sure she knows.
But so they eventually said, "Oh, we need to leave. They're not letting us visit any longer." They grabbed Evey, they got in Chris's car, and then all of my friends saw the Lego Movie without me.
Nice.
Yo.
Now, I believe that we
And
had
that's the end of that
plans to see
story.
the Lego Movie.
Without me.
We all saw it again with you 3 times.
3 of us saw it again later.
Yeah, all of us that were important and good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's the end of that story.
Am
is
I
that
part
was
of that
laying
group?
in the
Did I see the
hospital
Lego
recovered
movie?
from appendicitis,
Wait,
and
am
all
I-
of my
was
friends
I-
went to go see the Lego Movie without me.
Am I?
Oh,
part
I
of
was
the-
there. Never mind.
Am I part of the important and good group?
Yeah, you saw it with us later.
All right, good. Wait, hold up a second. I remember
was
now.
the
The
4 of
Lego
us.
movie. Okay, good. The Lego movie trip was something for like a club that we were all in.
Not the way
It
that it was
was-
explained to me.
Yeah, it was a
No,
bunch
the
of.
first night, it was a bunch of people from HVZ.
It was a bunch of people.
I'm
from-
in HVZ!
It was all posted on the Facebook page. It's not my fault that you had appendicitis.
I said we shouldn't go, and then it was pointed out to me. Someone said, "You're very stressed. We should go see the movie. Ben can see it when he comes home."
And
I
whoever said that was a smart.
"Okay."
And every person I knew on campus who was my friend saw the Lego Movie without me.
Ben,
Incredible.
that is not true. Brad and
wasn't
Amanda did not go to see the Lego movie.
Okay, I guess.
All but 2 of your friends went.
Yeah, all but 2 of my friends.
Well, one of your friends stayed in the hospital with you.
No.
It was
Riolu.
Riolu.
Aw.
I would have stayed if they let me. I want to make that abundantly clear.
I
Ben,
they
can
told
I
me
tell
no.
you something, man? The Lego movie was really good.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
That's why you went and saw it with me again
Well,
later.
Yeah, it was super good.
We saw it. I probably saw it like 7 times in theaters.
It was
Nice.
way better than the
3.
Lego movie too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's not really disputable.
I wasn't saying it was.
Unlike
Just.
Blade Runner.
Oh my God! No, we're not talking. We can't talk about Blade Runner
Oh,
again.
God.
No, that'll be the next.
No, we
that'll
can't.
be the next Goblincast extra. Will be a
It's gonna be-
lengthy discussion of Blade Runner.
It should
yes,
be a
Jennica.
real-time recording of us watching and reacting to Blade
No,
Runner
thank you.
together.
and
God,
getting
you
into a
cannot
big
make
old
me.
argument.
You cannot make me watch that.
Um,
But
but
you're
yeah,
in
Jennica,
quarantine.
that's-
Do you have anything better to do?
Very true.
I gotcha.
The answer is no.
Another victory for the coronavirus.
Although I do have access to Disney Plus now, and as well as Netflix, so
Ben
I
won't
have
watch Brother
some
Bear
good-
with me.
I won't.
What?
I won't do it. I won't sit
Ben
down
won't
to watch
watch
Brother Bear.
You're
Bear
wrong.
with me.
Brother
It's not
Bear's
fair. He's my
a
best friend in
masterpiece.
the world, and he won't watch Brother Bear with me.
She
It's
told
a
me that it was Phil
masterpiece.
Collins' crowning achievement. And I said, "You've seen Tarzan."
I like Brother
Brother
Bear more.
Bear is as good as Tarzan.
Whoa.
disagree.
I'll take that.
I disagree.
I can't
I'll
imagine
accept
a
that.
world where that's true.
But I think Brother
This
Bear
world.
is better,
I love Brother Bear.
personally.
I disagree with all of these sentiments. Tarzan is superior
No.
in every way.
No.
To
Brother Bear is
No.
not bad.
Tarzan
it is very
is
good.
phenomenal.
Tarzan is just really, really good.
You know that joke?
I want to know. Can you show me?
Can you show
someone's
me?
talking?
Yeah,
You know the
see,
joke
you're
where
singing
someone's
along.
talking and
Yeah.
they're like, I can almost hear their voice. Like, I miss them so much, I can almost hear their voice. You know that joke?
Stop telling people
Yeah.
I'm bad.
That literally
I made
came
that joke
from
like
Brother
10
Bear.
minutes ago.
It came
Exactly.
from Brother
And then I yelled at you for
That
making
movie.
the joke because I knew you were going to tell me you wanted to watch Brother Bear.
I do want to watch Brother Bear. And I think, Ben, and this is now going to be on a public medium for other people to tell you.
Okay.
I
All
think
7 of our
that
viewers.
it is, Ben, dude, I think that it is not such a bad thing to do activities with your best friend, who is me.
I do. I think it's a bad thing. I don't do activities.
Yeah, I mean, who does activities with their friends?
Yikes.
Fucking nerds.
Eddy, you
that's
should
who.
come over and play some Battlefront.
Okay.
Hey, after
during the quarantine.
After all of
Dude,
the
we
things
gotta
that
quarantine it up, dude.
After all of the things that I've done for you.
Did you know going to each other's houses is not allowed?
Allowed. I mean, what do I live
I have
in?
to
Not
go to
America?
work every day and stand within
I'm so
spittle
sorry for
distance
you.
of 6 billion clients.
I like that it's not spitting
kill
distance.
them.
It is spittle distance.
They're spitling.
Yeah.
They're
Because
getting
no
real spitly.
customer. I haven't had a client yet spit
Not
on
spit
me on
on you?
purpose.
Oh.
Hey,
But the
Evey.
spittle happens. There's nothing doing.
Hey, Evey, just kill them, and then you won't get the coronavirus.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you
here's
can
the
get it from
thing.
corpses.
Yeah, you probably are more likely. There's probably a lot of fluid.
Let's
No.
be real. Let's be very realistic. I probably
If you shoot them
already
from
had
more
it.
than 6 feet away, fine.
But it's gonna splatter.
It's like I probably already
Just
have
shoot them
it.
from
We're just
farther
gonna
away.
go with this
Sniper time.
eventuality.
Just
Yeah,
get
that's
in the
true.
car.
We probably all have it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So at work where so veterinary staff is considered essential. So we're open, we're working, and this might change pending a manager meeting that happened at work today at the time of recording. But currently we're still open for clinic appointments because those appointments were already booked. We're encouraging people to reschedule if it's routine care like vaccines or if the pet isn't like in urgent condition. But some people aren't rescheduling. So we're still seeing appointments and we're taking lengths to like limit threat of contamination.
Mm-hmm.
So we're letting only a limited number of people in the waiting rooms. Basically what we're doing is like checking people in outside at the front door, like giving them a questionnaire and then taking their pet from them
Nice.
and then bringing the pet back and
No.
having them come in and pay and then leave.
And then disinfecting everything they touched.
Right, so that there's only like a handful of people in at once and they can talk to the doctor from across the waiting room instead of being in the like tiny exam rooms. And these are all great things except that we decided them on a whim, so everything is very hiccupy. But so we're doing all of this and anytime somebody cancels an appointment for like the rest of the month, we're blocking it. So we're not scheduling new appointments.
You got it.
Right. So guy comes in Tuesday afternoon. He tries to walk in the door despite the gigantic signs on the door that say "Do not enter until instructed."
Well, people don't you know that people don't read?
Oh, I
They
do.
don't.
Oh, I do. So he tries to walk in the door, and my coworker, who is outside greeting with her uniform on and a clipboard, and is like waving and gesturing at him, she just reaches over and holds the door closed because she's a straight fucking savage. And the guy goes, "Excuse me, I need to go in." And she points to the signs and says, "Actually, you need to check in with me first."
Mm-hmm.
And so she finds out from this guy that he doesn't have an appointment. He wants to come in as a walk-in because his pet has a very severe ear infection. Ear infections aren't usually an emergency. We'll just throw that out there. They're usually pretty easy to deal with. It's not an emergency.
In the wrong place for medical care anyway.
What?
Wouldn't that go to the actual practice?
This is in the medical center.
Okay.
By clinic, I mean any outpatient appointments.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean just the wellness clinic. I meant in general.
Okay.
So he's saying that the pet is in distress, that it won't move, it's in terrible pain. Meanwhile, the dog's like running in circles and jumping up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Happiest little teddy bear I've ever seen. And he's demanding to be seen. So my coworker explains, well, we don't have appointments, we can see you as a walk-in, and explains that walk-ins have an increased fee because we're not an emergency facility. And he goes berserk, and he's yelling, and he's screaming. He's like, "You mean to tell me?" And she's like, "Yes, I do. I just did." "You mean to tell me you're going to charge all this extra to see my pet?" She goes, "Yes, sir." She's like, "Look at the situation we're dealing with. We aren't really able to accommodate. So yeah, you're going to pay." And he says, "Well, what if I had an appointment?" She says, "Then you'd be paying regular prices." And he says, "Well, I want an appointment tomorrow." And she says, "Okay, we're going to step up to the front desk, you and I. We're going to see if there are any appointments for tomorrow." Of course there aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him this. I tell him our next appointment is next Tuesday, a week away. That's not good enough. "Can't you see my pet's in distress?" Teddy looks fine. He looks fine. And I'm no doctor, but I tell him, "All right, well, your other option, sir, if you don't want to do a walk-in today, would be to give us a call right first thing tomorrow morning. Tons of people are canceling. I'm sure you'll be able to get in." He says, "Ugh, you can never get through on the phone to you people." Untrue. We'll move on. So I said, "Well, those are your options." And he says, "We'll pay. We'll be seen today." And I said, "Rewind. I'll have you fill out this triage sheet. I'll have a technician triage your pet. I can't guarantee you'll be seen because of on account of everything that's happening right now." And he says, "Oh, he'll be seen." So I have a manager on standby, and I bring the triage sheet to a technician, and I'm like, "The dog has a dire ear infection." So the technician goes out, sticks his finger like 3 inches into the dog's ear.
Gross.
The dog does not react.
That's a lot of inches to go into an ear.
He comes back and goes, "This dog does not have an ear infection. Get this man the fuck out of here." He's like, "There's a little redness."
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like cackling, right? My technician's like, "I'm legit gonna punch this guy," because the dude's just being nasty to everybody. He's like, "I'm legit gonna punch this guy if I have to go out there and he gives me a hard time." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess, we'll find somebody else to deliver the good news." So we go out there,
Sir,
and of course
great news. Your dog is cured.
Right, it's like he's fucking perfectly healthy.
That'll be $700.
But of course, the only way that
We used
can...
a new experimental treatment.
The only way that we can get this man to get the fuck out of my clinic is to tell him that we'll book him in a follow-up appointment slot tomorrow.
So
which
he
normally...
can pay more money?
Well, so he was just triage. He wasn't charged.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
His doctor didn't see it. So triage is free. We always do a triage for any walk-in. It's like if you go to the hospital and then they don't admit you. So the doctor comes up and she goes, "This dog barely has an ear infection. If you really need to see him, put him into half an appointment slot tomorrow." I'm like, okay. And then he leaves. Perfectly happy. Super excited about everything. But
Because
this
he thinks
dude,
he won.
Exactly. It was beautifully crafted to make him think that he got his way and that we made a super secret special awesome appointment for him. Because we loved him so much and knew what dire circumstances his pet was in. So he came in.
You
the
should have
next
come
day.
out like, "Sir, I have to unfortunately tell you that your dog does not have an ear infection. It's actually got cancer."
Oh my god! Oh my god!
He would have been like, "What? What do you mean?" And you would have said something like,
Yes,
"Well,
your attitude.
it's a rare form of cancer. It's actually not attached to the dog's body. It occasionally is by a leash."
Oh my god.
But like we
Thank
dealt with
you.
this dude
I'll be here
for
all
like
week. Actually, I'll be
full
here as long as
hour.
YouTube exists, probably.
Yeah, we dealt with this dude for like a full hour,
Evey,
and
I'm gonna
he
have to
at one
interrupt you
point.
just briefly. Chris
dare
almost
you.
just died, and he told us in the chat instead of saying it.
Yeah.
He's
That's
been on mute,
because
I think.
I'm courteous about recording etiquette,
He
Chris,
is
and I didn't
Yeah,
want to
you
hack
cough
up a
into the
lung
microphone.
Chris, if
and
we don't get to hear
choke
you dying,
and die.
then what is the point?
Okay,
Chris has super solid podcast etiquette.
but the last
rest
thing
of
that
It's
us
I
are
want
only
to
like
say,
I've been
all
doing
the
this
time.
for forever.
the last thing I want to say about ear infection guy is that at one point, when he asked why we weren't letting people in the waiting room, he was told, "Well, because of the coronavirus, we're trying to keep people apart and follow CDC recommendations." And this man says, "Well, I'm not sick, so that doesn't apply to me."
You dumb motherfucker.
And I think that was the crowning, like the crown jewel on top of his whole argument.
That's
The
amazing.
corona
Astounding
jewel.
is what that is.
The corona jewel. I'm gonna kill myself.
Because corona just is crown. That's what that means.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all did get it.
All right.
But
So
as-
I
Talk about the
saw
beer again.
an amazing post on.
You know, I'm
Facebook the other
just gonna say it.
Mm.
Now I want to be clear, okay? I don't drink beer. I've never had any alcohol in my entire life. So take my opinion with like a whole block of salt.
Like the whole rock.
But you know, Corona, the beer, is seeing drops in sales because of coronavirus.
Yeah, because
You know, 'cause it's
People
dumb.
think it's related.
But here's the
But
thing.
it
Now,
should
what I
have
do
seen
know
the
about
drops in sales
what
before.
I do know about beer, right, is that it is a type of liquid that doesn't do well
Good job.
When people are sick.
in sunlight, which is why most
Correct.
beer is in dark bottles, because it can turn very quickly
Correct.
and you know, become bad, which is why
Mm-hmm.
most beer is in dark bottles or in, you know, cans that light doesn't get through or things like that, right?
Yup.
Mhm.
And Corona is in a clear bottle.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
So
Yes.
me
They're like,
as
they
someone
don't care if it spoils because it won't change anything.
so
Thing
me
is,
as
there was-
someone who doesn't drink alcohol, I assume it's bad.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's terrible. You should.
I've
have
never
to have a
seen. I'm
lime
gonna be
with your
honest.
beer to enjoy it.
I was gonna say I've never seen anyone drink a Corona and not squeeze an entire lime or lemon into it.
I've also never seen someone take a sip of Corona without wincing immediately afterwards.
See, it's not just the clear bottle though. Corona is just bad beer. There are other beers
No,
that
no, no.
come
What
in
I'm
clear
saying,
bottles.
well, that's
Like
what-
Land Shark is the same style of beer, and it comes in a clear bottle, or at least it
Yeah,
used
but
to. be.
Land
So
Shark
what I
did a
was
good
saying,
job,
Chris,
so-
wasn't that the clear bottle makes it bad. I was saying that the clear bottle denotes to me that they don't care about the quality of their beer.
Yeah, they don't though.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Regardless of the clear bottle, they could have it in a fucking like stainless steel like 20 8-inch thick fucking vault, and
But
it wouldn't change a goddamn thing
they
because they
wouldn't-
can't make beer.
They wouldn't
it's
do
terrible.
that because
It's
they don't
skunked
care about
right
the
out of the
quality.
factory. It's bad. It's the worst damn thing. The fucking fact that they recommend that you put a lime in it is insanity.
It's not a fucking burrito.
It's
Wait,
not.
do you put
it's
lime
not
in your
salsa, man.
burritos?
Yeah, you do a little squeeze before
I'm
you
gonna
wrap.
close my window so
Yeah.
my neighbors don't think I'm a complete idiot.
Do you guys know why there's
But
mint
you're right.
in mojitos?
Why?
Because it
it's
tastes good.
fucking delicious.
Because
Next
the tequila was
question.
really bad.
What?
It was to cover how awful the tequila that they were serving people was.
Interesting.
I think you
I
mean
mean,
margarita.
No,
No, there's no
I mean
mint in
mojitos.
margaritas.
Well, there's no tequila in a mojito.
It's rum, right?
Is it rum?
It's rum.
Whatever.
Rum, baby.
He
You know
meant
what I
rum.
Exposed.
You know what I drink?
What?
I drink the
Straight.
Kraken.
Straight spiced
Has anyone had
dark
that
rum.
I
it-
love
around
rum.
When I
Halloween
drink,
time?
I drink.
Around
Doesn't
Halloween
matter what
time,
it
It's
is.
not bad though.
Kraken had
tequila.
like a coffee rum.
Yeah,
They
I
did.
really
It
want
was
to try
okay.
it.
It's okay.
I was
I've-
like,
I've
that
for
sounds
sure had
interesting.
worse.
All right, I gotta tell you guys. Speaking of coffee flavored alcoholic beverages,
Tell me
I
about
gotta
it.
tell you guys about one of the worst mixed drink experiences I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
So,
All right. Oh, and then
I
I
was
want
at
to
a
tell you
party.
a similar story after. Go.
all right. So I was at a party with some college friends, and a friend made me what she called a dirty Girl Scout.
That
Which-
I don't like that. Because
Which,
Girl
if
Scouts are
you're-
children. I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of that
I
name.
know, but dirty is just to signify
Just
that
means
it's an
there's
alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So what it was Kahlua, Bailey's, and I think creme de menthe.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's supposed to taste like a Thin Mint.
Right, and it does. It's delicious.
Supposed to.
Yeah.
So she gave me this drink. It was incredibly
I guess it's
strong.
all
It was
about
like
the
a Long
ratios.
Island iced tea, if that Long Island iced tea were a cup of straight coffee creamer. So I'm drinking this, and I'm thinking, God, this is very strong, and I am very young and have not been drinking alcohol for very many years.
guys, will be right back.
And I need
We'll miss you.
something to lessen the harshness. I need a chaser.
Oh no.
And the only other beverages that we had on hand were Red Bull. So I was having
Hey, Evey.
sips of my
How
dirty Girl Scout.
How big
And-
was this dirty Girl Scout? Because that's supposed to be a shot.
gigantic. It was gigantic, Chris. It was
Because
like
that's
a whole
shot.
It was like a
It
whole
was a
pint
Long Island
glass.
iced tea of shot
Yeah.
material.
I know
Oh.
now that it's supposed to be a shot. I
How
didn't
can,
know
how
that.
can you drink that much Bailey's?
I wish that I knew what I knew
Unless
now
it's from a
when
shoot.
I was younger.
Just pick
Okay? All right? So it was tricky. So I was sipping that and I was drinking a Red Bull.
You ever drink
Uh-oh.
Bailey's from a shoe?
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
You like to play games?
is this a more
So-
common thing?
Do you play love games?
all right. So,
I'm back.
So
it sounds
anyway,
like some shit happened.
So I
No,
take
not really.
Chris is
So at some
doing
point-
something.
I'm old Greg!
Fuck,
At
I
some
love old
point,
Greg.
one of the party goers looks at the two drinks in my hand and goes, "What if you mixed them?"
Ugh.
And I said, sick, because at this point the fumes alone had
Oh,
gotten.
no.
You've been
Chris.
huffing for like 20 minutes at this point.
All right, so I
I
pour
can't.
the Red Bull into the Dirty Girl Scout. I
Wow.
take a sip and think, wow, that's actually pretty good. And the
No.
next time I take a sip, a big chunk hits my lips.
Oh no!
Because the entire, and we're talking like a 30-second span, the entire beverage congealed. It looked like a can of refried beans that comes out in a can shape. It is the worst thing I can imagine. The smell was just, it smelled like, well,
That's because
like someone
you
had mashed up a bunch of Thin Mints with citrus.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
So I looked down and I said, oh, fuck. showed it to everyone in the room.
Oh,
Everyone gagged. 2 people threw up. And
my
I went
God.
home.
Oh my god.
How?
Have we
Why?
spoken about that
Wait.
Halloween?
Hold up, because I had a similar story to Evie's about the worst mixed drink experience that I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember, say when you were a kid and, you know, you were at any type of, you know, like not fast food, some fast food places probably, but like any of those like faster food restaurants where you eat there, but they don't like serve you or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You get the food at a counter. A lot of delis and stuff are like this, where they have
Like-
the soft
like
drink machine.
Fuddruckers.
Where they have the soft drink machine out in the dining room,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you get it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever, as a kid,
Yep.
mix all of them together?
Ugh.
I had a calculated combination that I did at McDonald's every time.
Okay.
I
So,
am familiar with the suicide. Yeah.
The the year is
Is
2010.
that not what it's called?
That is what it's called.
The year is
Okay.
2010. It's the summer, and me and Jeffrey walk into Five Guys Burgers and Fries in Niskayuna, New York. And this
Good
was the
choice.
first time that either of us had ever seen the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine.
Oh
Oh
no.
fuck.
Oh no.
Because this is when
Iconic.
they had first come to our area, and
Uh-huh.
we were like, "Oh, that's really cool," you know. And I got a vanilla Coke, which was
I know
great
where this
because
is
at this
going.
time, it's hard to find vanilla Coke, at least in my area.
It
Yeah.
is.
I think Jeff did something boring and just got like an orange Fanta or whatever.
Ugh, lame.
Didn't do anything fancy, but we were talking about it while we were eating our Five Guys Burgers and Fries, and I decided that I would mix everything.
Oh no.
Didn't taste
Like,
good.
everything in the
No.
machine?
Yeah,
So
like not
Including like
no.
the seltzer
Not like-
water.
Yes, but not every flavor of everything, just the base flavor of everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
Like
that
the
would
default for each.
That's a
it would have taken
lot.
way too long. But like
Yeah.
it was, you know, when you do it on the soda fountain machine, it's like 7 flavors. Well, this was like
Yeah.
25.
Mhm.
Uh-uh.
It really didn't
What if
taste
you-
very good.
What if you
I can't imagine
accidentally made Dr. Pepper?
Wait,
That's how
wait a
some
secret.
machines make
Wait a
Dr.
minute.
Peppers.
It's
They just put
everything.
everything in at once.
Oh god.
Well, you know what's interesting about Dr. Pepper? Have any of you? Well, first of all, I know Dr. Pepper is a divisive soda. I love it. Does anyone else here like Dr. Pepper?
I
also like
love
Dr.
Dr.
I-
Pepper.
We
Very
all
much
do,
so.
Jenica.
It has been
Jenica
A
has
very
bad
long
opinions
time.
on like everything apparently, so don't
That's
even
not
ask
true.
her.
It's been a very long
Ooh.
time since I've had Dr. Pepper. So,
So,
I don't know as an adult. Like I don't think I've had it since high school. So I'm not sure that I should comment.
Gotcha.
I liked it
in
in
my
high school.
experience, Dr. Pepper has been very divisive. If you're one of our 2 listeners, let us know in the comments if you like Dr. Pepper. But have you ever had Diet
Let's know
Dr.
how
Pepper?
wrong you are.
Have you ever had
Diet
Diet
Dr. Pepper is nasty.
I can't drink
speak on
diet
that.
sodas.
But have you
Diet
ever
Dr.
had-
Pepper isn't the worst thing. That would go to Diet Pepsi.
The thing about
Uh,
Diet Dr. Pepper is it almost tastes exactly like Dr. Pepper.
Almost.
And the
Is the
reason
key
for
word
it is
there.
because every other soda uses sugar as a flavoring,
Yeah.
but Dr. Pepper doesn't. It's that like medicine-y,
Yeah.
cough syrupy kind of flavor. That's the flavoring in
God.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And so like you just with Diet Dr. Pepper, you're just like, this tastes a little different. Whereas like Diet Pepsi doesn't taste anything like Pepsi.
It
No.
tastes like Satan has defiled my mouth.
And carbonated it.
and carbonated my
can't
the,
forget
how
the
Satan is.
skin of my mouth.
Satan is carbonated.
Yeah, Satan is just carbonated. All of Satan's bodily fluids are carbonated.
He's a fizzy boy.
He's a very fizzy boy.
You cut Satan and it
Well, there's actually that's the thing is carbonation is a tool of the devil, and so like in heaven the only drink they have is they have water and they have
apples.
flat LaCroix.
Oh, they have water.
Yeah.
No, Ben. Flat LaCroix is water that's been sitting next to a fruit for a while.
Pop,
Water
Yeah.
pop,
is-
fizz, fizz. Oh, what a joy the dark star is.
That might be a good place to end the podcast.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah, dude,
It's been like an hour and a half.
It's been a good quality episode.
Yeah, it has not felt like an hour at all.
I was gonna talk about the
That's a
Big
good
Slim
one.
Jim. Man,
We'll,
Guys,
we'll
listen,
record.
listen.
We should probably
We should record another one in the next couple days.
So many.
Yeah.
We should, but before we stop recording, you know what they say in
I'm gonna-
Milwaukee.
God
Oh my
damn
God.
it. All right. Well, everyone
All right.
stay safe out there or in there, I guess, because you're
In
not going
there.
outside.
I can't wait.
If you have to go to work, I pray for you every second of every day.